I was suggesting we bomb Belgrade. I was suggesting that we send American pilots in and blow up all the bridges on the Drina. I was suggesting we take out his oil supplies.
In '99, when we had bombings, as you mentioned, we did live in the apartment that is about 500 feet away from here. We would come always to this apartment and always to this building every single night for God knows how many nights, but particularly 15, 20 nights of bombing because our building did not have a shelter. So this building had a shelter, underground shelter. So it was just a horrifying experience for everyone, particularly for children that were, we did not really realize what is happening, why are the planes flying over our city and dropping bombs? Who does that?
You have probably the only three people in Washington here who think we should go straight to Belgrade and arrest Milosevic. But let's not kid each other. We're the only three people. The rest of this is malarkey. The Republican Congress won't even vote for the bombing.
I was celebrating my 12th birthday party at the tennis club, Partizan, where I grew up. And, during the happy birthday song, there was a plane just flying over. I can't really comprehend how horrifying and scary that experience is and how helpless you are. You are here on the ground and someone is flying over and just dropping bomb in a second and just disappearing.
The NATO forces won't even go along with the idea of ground troops. And whether or not the president will or will not is not relevant. The question, seems to me, is what is the definition of victory? We sat in this program before. The definition of victory was all the troops out of Kosovo, the Albanians back in Kosovo, and a NATO-led force in Kosovo. That's not total victory. That's not the victory I want. That's not the victory John wants. I've been saying we should go on the ground. We should announce there's going to be American casualties. We should go to Belgrade and we should have a Japanese, German-style occupation of that country.
So we were just about to fall asleep again, and then a huge explosion happened. And then my mom, she stood up very quickly and she hit the heaters and with her head and she felt unconscious. And so it was us crying because of the bombs and us crying because mom is not reacting. And my dad is there and just, what is happening, And so luckily my dad manages to help my mom get back to herself, normal, as much as she could. And we collect our stuff quickly and just take the necessities and we go out. There was no street lights, everything was shut off, and it was so loud that we could not hear each other. We were very close to each other, but we could not, even if you scream, they don't hear you. My dad was carrying my brothers and my mom was running with stuff, and then I slipped and I fell. And as I turned around, I looked towards the building and I see this stealth plane just flying and just dropping things, and then the ground is shaking. And then, of course, that's one of the most traumatic experiences and images that I had in my childhood that stayed with me till this day. And we were lucky, I think, our families, that we did not lose anybody that is very close to us. That there are a lot of people that lost very close people in their lives, and that's a different level of suffering and different level of trauma. I can't even imagine the pain that I had to bear.
Why, some of you ask, have I been so relentless on Serbia and Kostunica, who I do not trust? Why have I been so reluctant, so persistent in not providing aid to the people of Serbia, who are many good people? Why? Because until they look in their hearts, they can never cure themselves of the disease that they are the oppressed. And as long as they operate on that standard, this cycle will continue and continue and continue. That's why, not for vengeance, but for release, that it's necessary for them to look the devil in the eye